Hey everyone, so today we have loot from 50 absolutely gargantuan expeditions. We have one left to run, so we'll do that together. And this is such a juiced map, 675% waystone drop chance. If you didn't know, expedition logbooks and crisis fragments scale with waystone drop chance. So I've been saving this absolutely juiced node, 40% quant, 29% increased waystones, 21% increased quantity of expedition logbooks, with this absolutely juiced map. So let's get right into this and we'll run the expedition together. Okay, and here is the expedition. So I do have max points for my expedition atlas. This is not necessary because increased quantity of expedition logbooks dropped by runic monsters. Most of my logbooks came from excavated chests, so this isn't even too necessary. The extra prefix and the extra suffix is kind of useful just because you can get an additional bonus, like 67% increased quantity of expedition logbooks dropped by runic monsters, but it is not crucial. You can do expeditions without any points in your expedition atlas. So when doing an expedition, what we want to prioritize are these rare chests. They are the money. Now, I do recommend hiding the tooltips by pressing Z on the keyboard, just so you can see everything on the map. There have been a couple times where magic and even sometimes rare chest markers have been hiding behind these tooltips and I missed them. So just a good habit to turn that off and check. So yeah, we're going to prioritize these, and we want the increased quantity. So let's go ahead and put down some explosives. Alright, so I put down my explosives. I'm prioritizing getting the increased quantity of expedition logbooks dropped by runic monsters early, so this affects everything else in the chain. I also am getting the rare and the magic chests. And let's get right into this. Logbooks dropped by enemies are so rare. Again, I only got a couple of them in the 50 runs I did, but here we have these excavated chests. Come on, one logbook. Save the rare one. Oh boy. Come on. That's heartbreaking. Not how you wanted to end the run, but what can you do? So I'll finish up this map and then we'll get into the loot tab and loot right down. Alright, map complete. I just sold my uniques and let's get into the loot breakdown. And it looks good. Let's throw this stuff in here. One more simulacrum. Throw everything else in here. Alright, we got rid of the maps, and let's get into the loot breakdown. So, for the cost, I did purchase 6 expedition tablets for about 60 exalts each, totaling 360 exalts. For the expedition logbooks at level 79 plus, they have a chance to spawn the boss. It is not a 100% chance, so if you wanted to max out the expedition atlas tree, it would cost between 800 and even 2,000 exalted orbs because the boss is not a 100% guarantee. But again, you do not need the expedition atlas tree maxed out. We can see I only got 4 logbooks from actual monster drops. All of the other ones came from chests. So if we look at the expedition atlas tree, 50% increased quantity of expedition logbooks dropped by runic monsters, and then additional prefix and additional suffix modifiers on the remnants. Not super impactful when most of the money drops, most of the expedition logbooks are coming from the chest markers. So this is by no means necessary, so you can completely skip it if you're running expeditions. But if you have it, of course, it is a bonus. So let's get right into the breakdown. We got 330 raw Exalt drops, 55 Chaos, 5 Divines, and today Divines are worth about 285 Exalts apiece. So Chance Orbs are down a little bit, but we got 24 of those, mainly from disassembling uniques. 6 Greater Jeweler Orbs, no perfects. 4 Annulments, 52 Armorer's Scraps, 22 Gem Cutters. Not even gonna count the Glass Blowers. This is only a couple X. 43 Exotic Coinage. And we have all of these other artifacts, but most of them aren't worth anything. There's maybe an extra 20 or 30 Exalts if I was to sell these. But now we get to the money. Expedition logbooks at level 79 plus. You're not going to get any more from selling a level 79 logbook than you are a level 80. They just need to be level 79 to spawn the boss. And we got a huge 21 expedition logbooks from these 50 maps. Let's see what that brings the total to. Yep, absolutely gargantuan. We got 1,214 simulacrum splinters. Now this is with a fully upgraded simulacrum atlas, spec'd into consistent drops, spec'd into the simulacrum splinters. I also got 944 breach splinters, and these are just from running expeditions that also have breaches on them. Again, this is with a fully upgraded breach atlas. 6 expedition tablets, kinda low honestly. Barely got refunded the 6 I put in. But we can get about 30 exalts for each of these, depending on the stats. Some might insta-sell, and we might be able to get a little bit more. This one is huge. Increased quantity of expedition logbooks dropped by runic monsters, and increased quantity of items found. Both of those are almost maxed roll, but unfortunately it's only affecting 5 maps. But we'll say we can get 30 exalts on average each, even though that number is probably a little bit higher. 1 sapphire ring. These are the white bases that you can chance to get a dream fragment. Got 1 of those. And 4 white stellar amulets that go for about 140 exalts apiece. Again, you can chance these for an Astramentis worth 170 divines. No, I will not be chancing these. I've chanced enough. It's not going to happen. So we got 4 of these for a grand total of 8,500 exalted orbs for 50 expeditions, minus 360x for the expedition tablets. Again, you don't really need a maxed atlas for expeditions because most of your drops are coming from the chest markers. Now, if you run 50 expeditions without any atlas upgrades, you will expect to see less expedition logbooks, less splinters. We can actually compare this to my loot from 50 breaches, and I got about 200 simulacrum splinters when I did that, just from having distilled emotions on my maps. And of course this is 50 breaches, so you could expect maybe, depending on how many breaches you get, maybe 1 breach stone while doing expeditions should your maps contain a couple breaches. So definitely not this much, but you should still expect some good currency. And finally, we do have a couple catalysts. The only kind of expensive ones are the adaptive catalysts. We probably have about 60 or 70 exalts from the semi-rare catalyst drops. But all in all, we got about 8,500 exalts. So if we divide that by 285 exalts per divine, absolutely gargantuan. By far the best 50 runs of anything I have done. Highly, highly recommend it, but only if you are juicing your Atlas. I highly recommend finding an area with 6, 7, maybe even 8 precursor towers and absolutely juicing your map device. On your expedition precursor tablets, you want quantity of expedition logbooks and quantity of items. Those can get pretty expensive. If you can't get either of those, settle for just quantity of items. Now, if you have too many precursor towers and you can't get the most out of your expedition precursor tablets, what you can do instead is use a couple normal precursor tablets to increase quantity of items and or quantity of waystones. Again, expedition logbooks scale with waystone drop chance. But overall, this was so profitable. Again, one last look at my Atlas trees for Breach, Expedition, Simulacrum, and the base Atlas tree. I think that is just about it. Definitely farm some expeditions. They are so profitable, so much fun to do. And with that, as always, everyone, take care. So before I end the video, I wanted to show off my best run of expeditions. And you heard it, you can see it. I got one expedition logbook right there. I pick up this rare chest and get a second expedition logbook. So we'll go ahead and pick these two up. And we can see a second rare chest. So let's go see what's inside of it. Oh, it's another logbook. And then we get a fourth from a common chest. Chance orbs are going down, but we got... Chance orbs are going down, but we got 30... So chance orbs